Welcome back to Mass Appeal. Your garden, your lawn, they might look great, but at the end of the day, what does that really get you? Well, today we're joined by Lisa Depiano. She's the owner of Mobile Design Lab. She's going to show us how we can make our yard into an edible forest garden. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Seth.
Now, edible forest gardens, it's a subset of a larger term, and that term's permaculture. So for the people at home who don't really understand it, what is permaculture? What can it do for you?
Great, so when we're talking about permaculture design, we're looking at the way that nature does it and how can we mimic nature in our very own gardens. And edible forest gardens is just one small technique that we can use to really transform our lawns into edible paradises.
Because that's what it comes down to. It comes down to those edible paradises, because you can have the biggest lawn going, but if it's just grass and it's just pretty flowers, it might be aesthetically nice, but at the end of the day, that's so much land that you could eat off of, and some of the plants that you use are pretty gorgeous too.
Exactly, so you get the aesthetics, but you also get all the added benefits of berries that you can eat, things that you can prepare in your kitchens, and also it helps the soil. We plant things that add what we call additives to the soil that are just like nature.
Nice stat. So one of these plants that you can grow here is the blueberry plant. It's a pretty good looking plant and it grows blueberries too.
Yeah, so I brought a bunch of different things with us to show people at home how easy it can be to plant things, and they can go, it doesn't get more local than going out into your backyard and picking fresh blueberries.
Exactly, that is shopping local. You're shopping in your own backyard, literally.
Exactly.
A plant like this, is it as difficult to put in as a regular flower plant or maybe an azalea or something like that?
The great thing that I love about forest gardens is you plant things one time. So we're planting things that are perennial. And so you'll plant the blueberry one time, and you just have to water it and then keep it weeded.
So no muss,
and it's
no
great.
fuss, really?
No muss, no fuss.
Well, that's not bad at all. Now, what else have you brought with you today? What's this?
So I also brought some garden sage, and so I actually made an infused oil with olive oil with the garden sage, so we can actually make things to cook with right in our edible forest garden. So it's just as simple. We harvested this outside this morning and just went out to the garden and clipped it, and then it's ready for use in your kitchen.
Now, that's something too. If you want to get one of these oils that's infused, pay 20 bucks for it easily.
Exactly.
But if you can do your own, just dollars, if that.
Exactly. Just mere cents. And when you think about planting a blueberry, that plant's going to last for years and years. So you plant it once. If you go to the store, you'll pay $4 for a quart of blueberries, and you can easily grow it at home for a fraction of the cost. It's a renewable resource.
It just makes sense. It's so easy. Now, you can also have your flowers, and it's great to have them because they also help to pollinate, because it's a larger picture.
Exactly. And so we want to think about things like feeding the pollinators. And so we'll plant black-eyed Susans and sunflowers that are attracting in those beneficial insects to the garden that help ward off pests, look beautiful, and also help with pollination.
And we all want that beauty too, and it's one of those things, if you have a great flower garden, you can cut them and bring them inside, then you don't have to go to the florist all the time to buy flowers for your home. Now, what's this you have over here?
And so when we're doing edible forest gardens, we're looking at the actual forest and mimicking that. And so we'll do things like growing taller plants like the blueberry, and also in the ground cover we'll do things like thyme. And so this is just an herbal thyme. It's a creeping thyme that we can put at the base of our blueberry or our fig tree, and that will prevent the weeds from growing in, and it's also a useful understory.
So it tastes great and it has valuable use in the garden too.
Exactly.
Now, this is a very good looking plant, but you can eat parts of it too.
Yeah, believe it or not, Seth, that's a fig tree, and we can grow figs in our climate here. This is a Chicago cold-hardy fig, so it's specially bred for our long winters. And so you can actually see there are some figs growing on there.
Right about here, look at that fig.
And I wanted to bring this in for our viewers because even if you don't have a lot of land, you can see that that's growing actually in a container. So there's no reason that you couldn't have some of these plants on your back porch and grow them that way as well.
Yeah, true. A little kitchen garden is something that's so easy, but a lot of times people forget. And if you go out to the store and you want to buy that little packet of parsley or basil, that's $3, $4, $5, but it's so easy to grow your own. They're almost like pests. You know, the mint, for example, is one of those plants that you can't kill.
Exactly. And so we can just bring these into our home gardens and grow them, and it saves money. It's really great to be able to walk out into your backyard and harvest these things in just a few minutes. You can make breakfasts, you can add it into salads, and impress all your friends.
And these two things too, it's always important to show the progression. You had the blueberry plant, then we had the blueberries from it, and then from that you can make so many great items.
Exactly, because we do have a long cold winter, and it's really nice to crack open a jar of fresh jam that you prepared the summer before. And it's really pretty simple. So you see the fresh blueberries, those are great to eat fresh, and then you can preserve the harvest by making jam. And so here I have a blueberry jam that we made from our fresh blueberries. And then we also have a strawberry rhubarb spread.
So
and
many
those
options.
are two other things that grow really easily in our climate and that are perennial. So you plant them once and they just keep coming back.
Great ideas. Thank you. It just makes sense. Hey, speak.